Over 120 Muslim men and women traveled from over 30 states to spend their President's Day weekend at U.S. Capitol Hill. Members of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Community USA, America's oldest Muslim organization, held their 7th annual Day on the Hill event and 11th annual National Public Affairs Seminar on February 17th and 18th. Delegates met with over 200 U.S. congressional offices and discussed a range of topics, including combating violent extremism, protecting the rights of the oppressed, religious minorities, and balancing the rights of genuine refugees with national security. Concerns were raised about President Trump's proposed travel ban and how such a policy can only increase division, social bias, and discrimination. A major focus of this year's Day on the Hill was the community's True Islam grassroots campaign, which was launched a year ago after the San Bernardino attacks. The campaign provides a precise counter-narrative to extremist groups who pervert Islam's true teachings. The 11 points mention such themes as separation of mosque and state, the empowerment and education of women, and loyalty to one's nation. To date, the campaign has received over 13,000 individual endorsements and a social media footprint of hundreds of thousands. Another highlight included the relaunch of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Caucus for the 115th Congressional session. The caucus, which is the only Muslim caucus in Congress, seeks to bring greater visibility and awareness to the increasing religious repression of persecuted Ahmadi Muslims and other persecuted religious minorities worldwide. The bipartisan co-chairs U.S. Congresswoman Jackie Speier and U.S. Congressman Peter King issued an official joint statement for the event. We remain committed to shining a spotlight on instances of persecution and oppression faced by the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. The National Director of the Public Affairs for the Ahmadiyya Muslim Community USA, Amjad Mahmood Khan, gave a brief introduction of the community's multifaceted efforts.
Last February at Capitol Hill from this very podium, under the guidance of our worldwide spiritual head, His Holiness Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad, we initiated a campaign called True Islam, an effort to precisely, loudly, and unambiguously define the core principles of Islam that stand in perfect harmony with American values. It is a campaign to discredit and marginalize extremists, to demonstrate that their ideology perverts Islam and in so doing inflicts the greatest damage on Muslims more than any other group.
The co-chair of the Tom Lantos Human Rights Commission, U.S. Congressman Jim McGovern of Massachusetts, also attended the caucus launch.
I think your presence is a reflection of your commitment to religious freedom and your passion for civic engagement, two things that we very much need these days. And so thank you for being here. I think there is a lot of ignorance that exists amongst those who are targeting the Muslim community. People who don't even know what Islam is about. Islam is a beautiful, peaceful, loving, glorious religion. But I find that there are a lot of people, and some people who are fairly well educated, who just don't know anything about it. That's why the efforts of this community and the True Islam campaign, I think, is so important.
Afterwards, MTA News caught up with Congressman McGovern, where he highlighted the need to shed light on the persecution of Ahmadis in Pakistan.
And we have worked with leaders in this community to kind of bring to light the continued discrimination and persecution of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community in Pakistan. It is unconscionable, and we here in the United States need to be more vocal in our criticism of the way the Pakistani government is treating this community.
The group took some time out in the afternoon to offer Friday prayers before finishing up with the rest of the meetings. The day ended by a visit to the Smithsonian Museum to see a special exhibition, The Art of the Quran. Local and national media was present to cover the event, including the Associated Press, Voice of America, National Public Radio, and Roll Call. Delegates returned home to more local media coverage about their efforts at Capitol Hill. Sania Ahmed, MTA News, USA.